Rest in peace. Light and shadow dance together. Now, I follow the wind. Time can't be stopped.
You're nearly to the settlement now. I'm sure that you're looking forward to a bit of rest. But I wouldn't let your guard down if I were you. I would guess that everyone living there is part of the bandit gang.
So don't be surprised if I wake up at knife point, is that it? Fine by me. It'd give me an excuse to beat some information out of them.
You'd use yourself as bait? Just for that? I guess that's just like you. But don't let yourself get hurt, okay?
I've been surveying the desert all these long years. But I have been completely flummoxed by those cursed tablets.
I don't barter. You got that? Hey, what's with the sourpuss? You don't have a complaint about my fine assortment now, do you?
It's good enough, I suppose.
Go on! I don't need some uppity tourist making demands. Go somewhere else if you don't like my wares. Go on, get!
If you insist, I will. You're not the only merchant around.
That's where you're wrong, Missy. Far as I know, this is the only shop in the desert. There was one other fella, but he couldn't cut it. Lost all his drive to sell out here. When that happens, well, that's the same as death to a salesman.
So? What made him give up?
Damn fool. He bet his dreams on the desert, that's what. Poor old Ramon. He thought he'd make a real name for himself out here, selling to adventurers. But in the end, he lost sight of his dream and his business.
Sounds good for you, though he doesn't seem like he was much of a rival anyway.
Shut it! You don't know the first thing about him.
Didn't mean to offend you. What's there to get so worked up about anyway?
Nothing. Not a damn thing. It's just like you say. He was nothing at all. It's not like he'd ever been a threat to my business anyway. No, not Ramon. I'm done talking about him. If you want to know more, ask him yourself. You'll find him near that old camp in the giant sandbox.
He was a pretty strange guy, wasn't he? But if he's really the only merchant around like he says, then I guess you'll have to count on him for help. Unless, of course, you want to find out for yourself about that Ramon fellow.
Unusual to see a traveler around these parts. This is Ruffian, the only settlement in the desert. It used to be a real town once, but most people have gone and given up on the bandit life. Well, all that's left.
What's this? A tourist, eh? If you really want to get any of us to talk, you better go see Adonis first.
Raise a glass. So, what are you having? You better come again.
So you're the new seed hunter, huh? The job isn't easy, let me tell you. I've warned you. But, seeing you're out here in the land of outlaws and bandits, I'm guessing you can hold your own. Once you've got your hands on some soul seeds, track one of us down. We pay good money for them, don't you worry. And then we sell them to rich folks to make a huge profit. It's win-win. Looks like you had yourself a successful hunt. Nice job out there. Here you go. And another thing, Baird wanted me to give this to you. It's a token of appreciation.
The buildings here are ancient structures from another age. I don't know whether to call this a town or a fortress, but it's definitely unique.
I'd say definitely criminal is closer. At least there's not much of a dress code, other than looking like a thief.
That kid just gives you the creeps. You know what I mean? He first came here to the desert with his folks.
What are you doing?
Nothing much, just gilling my sputs for haul to ear. Dutter do youing, wum-ass.
Hope, can you interpret this for me?
It seems to me like it's some kind of code or cipher, but I don't have enough data yet to break it.
Can't you speak normally?
Show nit. Of course I can. Look, I don't have any info about any treasure if that's what you're looking for. I've got no interest in it. Buffet to you.
Doesn't seem like many people choose to live out here unless they're after treasure. So, what's your story?
Meave B. Lee. The world's going to end soon anyway, right? If that's the case, what's the point in having dreams or working hard?
So, sitting around waiting for the end was the best idea you could come up with. Nice way to spend your last days.
Well, yeah, it's boring, but nothing I do now makes any sort of difference anyway, so why bother? No matter how much I might unravel mysteries of the past, none of these bandits care. They don't even listen to my findings. Troen even nice to understand.
I get that it's hard to stay motivated when no one appreciates what you do.
I'd say so. If you get it, why are you giving me a hard time? Just leave me alone. I'm done with all of it. I ditched all my equipment in the desert. If you find any of my old things, they're yours. Take them away with you.
I think I may just do that. They deserve better than getting tossed aside by some sulking, spoiled kid.
Fake them, 10.
Speaking of equipment, didn't you pick up some sort of tool in the desert before? Why don't you show him? See how he reacts.
What is it? Don't tell me you actually found something.
Is this it? What you threw away?
How did you... Dad's loop?
Dad?
Never mind that. Just give it back to me. Now!
You want it back? Who was it that told me I was welcome to whatever I could find? I'm not sure I want to give it up.
Fine. I'll talk if I have to. My dad was a great bandit, okay? But he was also a great appraiser. He spent his whole life studying the relics in these ruins.
So he wanted you to follow in his footsteps?
No, it wasn't like that. Not at all. He taught me everything he knew so that I could become a scholar. He wanted me to be able to unravel the mysteries of the past. But then he disappeared. Never made it home. No one ever found any clue as to what happened. He left me, and took my only chance at becoming a scholar with him. Didn't have much choice. I could appraise or starve.
Is that why you threw away his tools? In order to spite your father?
It was stupid. I was stupid. I should have just done what my dad wanted and kept working to be a real scholar. But he's gone, and it's too late now. This world is nearly done for. But if I'm ever reborn, I promise I'll take things a bit more seriously. I'll give it my all. I'll study hard, and I'll become a great scholar and solve all kinds of mysteries. Or maybe that's too much to ask for.
You should dream big, and the first step to making your dream come true is believing it can come true.
If I want to make my dreams come true, I've got to be at least a better appraiser than my father was. I know that's what he would have wanted, too. If you find any treasures in the ruins or out in the desert, please bring them to me to be appraised. Want me to appraise anything odd for you? That's some great treasure you found. Good for you. Come back whenever you find any treasure.
Come on now. Welcome! Come on in and take a load off. Well, that's a shame. Next time, then.
Where'd you come from? You're not one of those sneaks from the Order, are you?
Well, would it really matter if I were?
No. I'm not gonna tell you a thing either way, so you might as well move on.
Guess I should have known better than to ask some lowly grunt. You're no help to me. Where's the boss?
If you think you're gonna get to meet our boss, you'd better learn to ask nicely.
Did I hurt your feelings? Excuse me, but would you do me the great honor of showing me the way to your boss? Please.
I don't have no help to spare for strangers. Find the boss yourself.
Why, hello. Looks like it's your first time to our humble home. Welcome. Do you need a guide?
That's exactly what I need. That and some answers to a few questions I have.
A woman who knows what she wants. Fire away and I'll do my best.
Rumor has it that you bandits might be able to tell me about the Holy Clavis.
So you know who we are. From what I can tell, you don't look like one of those Order lackeys, so what possible use could you have for the Clavis?
Why should I have to tell you that?
You shouldn't, and you don't. You're not one of us, so you can do whatever you want, but I won't be telling you nothing. If you want to know what we know about the Clavis, you'll just have to join our gang, Monoculus. Have you ever wanted to be a bandit? Now's your chance. Not that we let just anyone join us. But we'll at least let you try out. If you don't like that, then I think you know where the exit is. And that's all I've got to say about this. Name's Adonis, by the way. If you want to attempt the trial, just say the word. I'll explain everything you need to know.
If you want to find the Holy Clavis, it looks like there might not be much choice but joining up. I suggest talking to Adonis and finding out what his trial entails. The bandits of this desert have been exploring the ruins for many years. They know what's in there better than anyone. If you want to recover the Clavis, your best hope lies with them.
You ready to see if you've got what it takes to join Monoculus? Oh, made your decision, have you? Then let me explain what you'll have to do. There's a giant sandstorm in the desert. You've seen it, right? It's been causing us nothing but grief out here, to say the least. Make it stop. That's your test. Off you go.
Make it stop? The wind? Do you want a bandit or a holy woman?
Oh, fine. Make me explain it all. Look, that thing's not exactly natural. People call it God's wrath. It's magic or a curse or something. If you can trigger the stone monument near it, you should be able to control it, including making it go away.
If you know that, why haven't you taken care of it, instead of asking a stranger?
What, you think a human can control the weather? That's just crazy talk. Now go and give it your all. Best of luck. Beat the monster near the stone monument, and you'll get the key that activates it. And that's the last freebie you'll get from me.
So if you want to defend the game, you'll have to defeat a monster, get a certain key. Somehow use that monument to stop God's wrath.
Hearing what Adonis had to say about it didn't sound like anything a normal person could do.
You're right, it's not a very fair trial. But then again, you are the savior. Doing what regular people can't comes with a job, right?